Imagine you are walking through a forest. The trees are plentiful and the air is fresh. Now, envision each tree as a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Just as the forest thrives in abundance, so too can we, if we shift our perception about wealth. We often think of wealth in the most literal sense as money, physical cash, or material possessions. However, true wealth is far deeper than the tangible items we can touch and see. It is an energy, a spiritual force that pervades every aspect of our life. It's the power that fuels creativity, sparks innovation, and drives us to strive for more. Wealth, in its most profound sense, is an energy that allows us to expand, to grow, and to evolve. But what is the nature of this energy? It's not about the physical currency that we hold in our hands. It transcends the tangible, residing on a higher level of consciousness. It's about understanding the divine flow of abundance that is available to each one of us if we can just tap into it. Money, in its essence, is a form of positive energy. It's a tool, a resource, and when utilized with the right intention, it holds the power to transform lives, to change the world. However, harnessing this energy requires more than just the desire for affluence. It requires a shift in our perception, a shift from viewing money as an end in itself to seeing it as a means to serve a higher purpose. Abundance, like the forest with its wealth of trees, is a divine flow that we can consciously connect with. It is not limited to a select few but is available to all who align with its frequency. Abundance is a state of being, a state of consciousness. It's about recognizing the wealth that surrounds us each day, in every moment, be it in the form of love, joy, peace, or the tangible wealth that we often associate with money. But here's the thing, wealth is not a static entity. It's not a commodity that can be hoarded or possessed. It's an energetic current that flows through life, much like the waves in the ocean or the wind in the sky. When we open ourselves up to this current, when we resonate with its frequency, we invite the flow of wealth into our lives. The idea, my friends, is not about racing towards the accumulation of material wealth, but about aligning with the current of abundance that already exists. It's about shifting our perception to see that there is enough to sustain everyone. The belief in scarcity, the fear of lack, these are nothing more than limited perceptions, restrictive beliefs that block the flow of abundance. So, how do we shift our perceptions? How do we align with the frequency of abundance and invite wealth into our lives? It starts with understanding that wealth is not something to be chased, but an energy to be attracted. And to attract this energy, we must first resonate at its higher frequency. Think of a radio. To tune into a specific station, you have to adjust the frequency to match that of the station. Similarly, to tap into the flow of abundance, we have to shift our vibration, our energy to match that of abundance. We have to shift from a mindset of scarcity, of lack, to a mindset of abundance, of wealth. This shift, this change in perception opens the floodgates to financial prosperity. It's not about merely wishing for wealth, but about taking purpose-driven action to attract it. When our actions are driven by a higher purpose, by a desire to serve, to contribute, to make a difference, we attract wealth as a sacred energy from the divine. As we begin this journey of wealth creation, let this be our guiding principle. Wealth is not an end in itself, but a means to serve a higher purpose. It's a tool, a resource to fuel our evolution and growth, to awaken us to our true potential, and to uplift the world around us. This, my friends, is the true purpose of wealth. This is the magic that unfolds when we shift our perception about wealth and abundance. The beauty of this perspective is that wealth and abundance are not limited to the confines of material possessions or financial gain. Think about the richness of nature, the abundance of love, the wealth of knowledge. These are all different forms of wealth that we overlook in our narrow focus on monetary wealth. We need to recognize that abundance manifests in many forms, not just as paper bills or digital numbers in our bank accounts. To truly understand abundance, we must see it as a river. A river is never static. It flows, it changes, it adapts, and it always finds a way to move forward. Likewise, Wealth is an energetic current that flows through life. It has its own rhythm, its patterns, and understanding these patterns can help us align ourselves with its flow. Imagine standing in a river. The water doesn't stop. It keeps flowing around you, brushing against you, encompassing you. This is the nature of wealth. It is not something that can be contained or held onto. It's a flow of energy that we can either align ourselves with or resist. Now, you might be thinking, if abundance is this ever-flowing river, then why do I see scarcity around me? The truth is that scarcity is a perception, a belief. It arises from limited perceptions and beliefs about wealth. There's enough for everyone in this universe, but our fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs about wealth create an illusion of scarcity. So how do we shift from this perception of scarcity to a perception of abundance? The answer isn't as complicated as we might think. It begins with resonating with the frequency of abundance. Just as a tuning fork resonates with a certain frequency, we too can resonate with abundance. Resonating with abundance requires that we move from a place of fear, doubt, and scarcity to a state of trust, belief, and plenty. It requires that we align our thoughts, actions, and beliefs with the truth of abundance. This alignment is a powerful magnet for prosperity. When we vibrate at the frequency of abundance, when our actions are driven by purpose and not by fear, we attract wealth as a sacred energy from the divine. Remember, wealth is not just about the accumulation of material possessions. It's about fulfilling our purpose, realizing our potential, and making a positive impact in the world. This is the spiritual perspective of wealth and abundance. It's about understanding that the divine purpose of wealth is not just to meet our physical needs, but to fuel our spiritual growth and evolution. Wealth is a divine resource that allows us to raise our vibration, to expand our consciousness, and to contribute positively to the world. It is not meant to be hoarded, but to be used to uplift ourselves and those around us, to awaken humanity's collective vibration, and to support individuals to awaken and uplift the world. What if we lived our lives with this understanding? What if we saw wealth not just as something to be accumulated, but as a sacred energy that can be used to uplift the world? How would that shift our relationship with wealth and abundance? How would that influence our actions and decisions? As we step into this new understanding of wealth and abundance, let us remember that wealth is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. It is a tool that can be used to fuel our spiritual growth, to enhance our lives, and to make a positive impact in the world. Let us strive to resonate with abundance, to align ourselves with its flow, and to use wealth as a means to fulfill our divine purpose. And in doing so, let us remember that the journey towards wealth is not about acquisition, but about alignment, about resonating with the divine flow of abundance that is our natural state. In essence, to flow with abundance, we must understand the cycles and seasons of wealth, knowing that just as there are periods of growth and expansion, there are also times of contraction and pause. By understanding this, we can powerfully navigate these cycles, focusing on our inner vibration and purpose during challenging times, knowing that these are merely seasons that will pass and give way to new growth and abundance. As we delve deeper into understanding this flow of wealth and abundance, we realize that we are not just passive observers in this process, but active participants. We are not merely standing on the banks of the river of abundance. We are in it, flowing with it. Thus, we can channel this wealth according to our intentions, our purpose, our service. However, it's important to note that the channeling of wealth should not come from a place of neediness or lack. When we act out of lack or fear, it blocks the natural flow of abundance. Instead, it should be channeled from a place of purpose and service. Consider this. If you have a vessel with a small hole at the bottom, and you keep pouring water into it, the water keeps flowing out. This vessel is not retaining water. It's a conduit for water to flow through. This is the principle of wealth as well. We are not meant to hoard wealth, but to allow it to flow through us, to channel it, to use it for a higher purpose. This idea of perpetual recycling of wealth might seem a little foreign, especially in a world that often promotes accumulation over flow. Yet it's not a new concept. In nature, we see this principle in action all the time. The water cycle, for example, is a perfect illustration of this perpetual recycling. The water evaporates, forms clouds, precipitates, and the cycle repeats itself. There's never a shortage of water. It just changes its form and continues flowing. The same principle applies to wealth. Prosperity is a perpetually recycling stream, flowing through a natural, unending cycle. The energy of wealth is constantly changing form, moving from one place to another, from one person to another, yet it's never depleted. It is a continuous, never-ending flow that we can tap into and align with at any time. When we understand this principle, we can see that wealth isn't something to be hoarded or held onto tightly. Instead, it's something to be channeled towards enlightened purposes, for the expansion of consciousness, creativity, and spirituality. As we align ourselves with this higher perspective of wealth, we see that it is not merely a tool for personal gain but a resource to be used for the greater good. We begin to see that the true purpose of wealth is to foster the growth and development of ourselves and the people around us. It's about using wealth as a tool to expand our consciousness, to awaken our creative potential, and to create a positive impact in the world. Imagine a world where wealth is channeled not towards self-serving ends, but towards enlightened purposes. A world where wealth is used to foster creativity, consciousness, and spirituality. This is the vision that we can bring to life as we align with the divine flow of abundance. In this light, channeling wealth becomes a sacred act. It becomes a way of participating in the divine flow of abundance, of contributing to the evolution of consciousness, of being a part of something larger than ourselves. It is no longer about me and mine, but about us and ours. It's about using our wealth to create a more conscious, creative, and compassionate world. As we channel our wealth in this way, we not only enrich our own lives but also contribute to the collective enrichment of humanity. We become co-creators with the divine, using our wealth to create a world that reflects the higher values of love, compassion, creativity, and consciousness. And as we continue to channel our wealth for enlightened purposes, we find that the wealth continues to flow to us and through us in an unending cycle of abundance. We realize that the more we give, the more we receive. The more we channel our wealth for higher purposes, the more wealth flows to us. This is the divine law of abundance, the law of flow, the law that governs the universe and everything in it. In this way, channeling wealth becomes not just a means to an end, but an end in itself. It becomes a way of living, a way of being, a way of participating in the divine flow of abundance. It becomes a spiritual practice, a way of aligning ourselves with the divine, a way of living in harmony with the universe and its laws. And as we do so, we find that our lives become enriched in ways that we could never have imagined. We find that we are not just receivers of wealth, but also givers of wealth, active participants in the divine flow of abundance. Speaking of channeling wealth, let's explore the concept of abundance and how it correlates with our experience of wealth. We often think about wealth in terms of physical currency, be it paper bills or digital numbers. However, if we shift our perception and broaden our understanding, we may start to see that wealth is not just limited to these physical representations, but also manifests in many other forms, and one of them is abundance. The idea of abundance is beautiful because it embodies a universal truth. There is enough for everyone. This perception of wealth as an energy current flowing through life can be deeply empowering, as it allows us to tap into the energy of abundance that is always present in the universe. This is where the perception of scarcity arises from. It's a limited belief that there isn't enough to go around. We may think that there's only a certain amount of wealth and that if someone else has more, it means there's less for us. But that's not how the universe works. There's no limited supply of wealth. It's like the ocean. No matter how much water you take out, it doesn't run out. The ocean doesn't get depleted. The universe is exactly the same. There's always more than enough to go around. What we need to do is shift our perception and align ourselves with the energy of abundance. Imagine a radio. You can dial into different frequencies to listen to different stations. Similarly, To tap into the energy of abundance, we need to resonate at a higher frequency. This higher frequency is about focusing on the fullness of life, being aware of the blessings we already have, and expressing gratitude for them. It's about acknowledging the abundance that is already present in our lives. When we do this, we naturally start to attract more abundance. This is because we are energetically aligning ourselves with that frequency. We are tuning into the radio station of abundance. And once we are tuned in, we start to receive the broadcast, which, in this analogy, is the energy of abundance. This shift in perception doesn't just happen in the mind. It's also about taking action. But not just any action. Purpose-driven action. When you are aligned with your purpose and take action from that place, you become a magnet for wealth. That's because wealth is not just attracted to need, it is also attracted to purpose. When we live a purpose-driven life, we are putting out a powerful energy that draws wealth towards us. It's like a beacon of light that attracts abundance. And the beautiful thing about this is that when we live from a place of purpose, we are not just generating wealth for ourselves, but also contributing to the greater good. We are using wealth as a tool to serve others, to create value, to make a positive impact on the world. This is how we can truly harness the spiritual aspect of wealth and abundance. In essence, to attract wealth and abundance, we must first become wealthy and abundant in our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. We must perceive ourselves as inherently wealthy and abundant, worthy of all the good that the universe has to offer. And as we align ourselves with this perception, as we resonate at the frequency of abundance, as we take purpose-driven action, we open the floodgates to financial affluence. Remember, wealth is not just about having a lot of money. It's about experiencing an abundance of all good things: love, joy, peace, health, creativity, and yes, financial prosperity. When we shift our perception in this way, we not only attract more wealth, but we also experience a richer, fuller, more abundant life. Each of us has the power to tap into this divine flow of abundance. Each of us can harness this powerful spiritual energy and channel it towards our highest good and the highest good of all. All it takes is a shift in perception, a change in frequency, and a commitment to purpose-driven action. As we do this, we step into our role as conscious creators of our reality. We step into our power as divine beings, and we step into the flow of abundance that is our birthright. And as we do, we discover the true nature of wealth. As we adopt this mindset of wealth being more than just a number in our bank accounts, we begin to see its divine purpose. The wealth that we attract and the abundance we experience is not just for our personal gratification. There's a higher reason for it all. The divine purpose of wealth is to ignite evolution and growth. It functions as a catalyst, pushing us towards self-improvement and enabling us to make lasting contributions to the world around us. You might think, how can money, something so material, facilitate spiritual growth? The answer lies in the way we utilize it. When used with wisdom and purpose, wealth can be an incredibly potent tool for positive change. It can provide the resources to seek knowledge, to create and innovate, and to contribute to causes that uplift humanity. Wealth is a powerful energy that, when directed towards the right channels, can raise humanity's collective vibration. Instead of using it merely for personal gain, wealth can be employed to support the growth and awakening of individuals around us. It can help us create a ripple effect, influencing others to rise, to evolve, and to make a positive impact. Consider the philanthropists who have used their wealth to build schools and hospitals, to fund research, and to support charities. They exemplify how wealth can be used not just for personal comfort, but to bring about positive change in society. They show us that wealth can be a profound source of blessing, not just for the individual who possesses it, but for the wider community as well. As you embrace this broader perspective of wealth, you'll find yourself in harmony with the flow of abundance. Just as nature has its cycles and seasons, so does wealth. There are times of abundance and times of scarcity. There are times when money flows in effortlessly, and other times when it seems like a struggle. But understanding this dynamic can help you navigate these cycles effectively. During periods of financial challenge, instead of panicking or feeling deprived, use it as an opportunity for inner work. When resources seem scarce, shift your focus to your inner richness. This is the time to work on your inner vibration, to align yourself with the frequency of abundance, to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, and to reaffirm your faith in the divine flow. The understanding of these cycles is not about resigning to fate, but about flowing with the rhythms of life. It's about acknowledging that sometimes, the journey to wealth and abundance involves navigating through challenging terrains. However, these challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones leading you towards greater wealth and prosperity. During these challenging times, continue to focus on your purpose. Your purpose is your compass, guiding you through the rough seas towards your destination. When you stay committed to your purpose, it becomes a magnet, attracting wealth and abundance towards you. Every time you channel your wealth from a place of purpose and service, you're not just attracting more abundance into your life, but you're also transforming the energy of wealth. You're transforming it from a mere material entity to a sacred energy that fuels growth and evolution. You're allowing wealth to fulfill its divine purpose, which is to support the growth of consciousness, creativity, and spirituality in the world. Wealth does not exist merely to satisfy our needs and wants, but to allow us to live a life of purpose, a life that uplifts and inspires others. It's about allowing wealth to flow through us, to serve our purpose and the greater good. As we make this shift, we stop seeing wealth as a limited resource and start seeing it as an unlimited divine flow that we can channel towards enlightened purposes. This is the path to true prosperity, a path that leads not just to material wealth, but to spiritual abundance as well. One fascinating aspect of understanding wealth as a spiritual energy is realizing that it's not just about accumulation, but about circulation. True prosperity is seen as a perpetually recycling stream of abundance, flowing through a natural, unending cycle. It is a current that has to continue its course to keep the balance. Holding on too tightly to wealth can disrupt this balance. Instead of hoarding wealth out of fear or insecurity, we should learn to channel it. Channeling does not denote mindless spending or squandering of resources, but it involves directing the wealth towards avenues that align with our purpose and service. The act of channeling wealth can manifest in various forms, from investing in personal growth and education, supporting causes that resonate with us, to creating opportunities for others. The emphasis here is not on the act of spending, but on the intention behind it. The intention should not stem from a place of neediness or lack, but from a place of abundance and service. This is because the energy we infuse into our financial transactions has an impact on our financial health. When our actions come from a place of lack, we reinforce the energy of scarcity. Conversely, when our actions stem from a place of abundance, we strengthen the energy of abundance in our lives. Abundance is not merely about having a lot, but about being a lot. It's about expanding in all dimensions: consciousness, creativity, and spirituality. This is where the concept of channeling wealth takes on a deeper significance. Instead of using wealth merely for self-gratification, it is channeled towards enlightened purposes, towards the expansion of consciousness, creativity, and spirituality. As we channel wealth in this manner, we start transforming our relationship with it. We start seeing it not just as a means to an end, but as a divine energy that supports our spiritual journey. We start recognizing its potential to bring about positive change and to facilitate our growth and the growth of those around us. When we use wealth to fuel our spiritual journey and to make a positive impact, we align ourselves with the frequency of abundance. The more we channel wealth in this manner, the more we resonate with the energy of abundance, and the more abundance we attract into our lives. Wealth is not just about having more, it's about becoming more. It's about expanding our awareness, our compassion, our creativity, and our spiritual depth. It's about stepping into our power and using it to uplift ourselves and those around us. This realization can transform our perception of wealth and can open up new avenues of abundance in our lives. It can enable us to move from merely surviving to thriving, from merely existing to truly living. It empowers us to tap into the divine flow of abundance and to experience prosperity in its truest sense. In this ever-evolving world, the future of wealth lies in digital currencies and decentralized finance. These new forms of wealth not only democratize financial power but also channel prosperity more directly. They enable the wealth to flow freely and abundantly without the limitations of traditional financial systems. As people awaken to these spiritual aspects of wealth, we can expect a surge in philanthropy. More and more individuals will realize the divine purpose of wealth and will choose to channel it towards causes that uplift humanity. This is the emerging paradigm that perceives wealth not just as a material entity, but as a spiritual energy flowing for conscious evolution. As we embrace this paradigm, we step into a new era of prosperity, an era where wealth serves as a catalyst for growth and evolution, and where abundance is seen not as a privilege but as a birthright. This is the future of wealth, a future that aligns with the highest principles of spirituality, a future that promises abundance for all. In this rapidly evolving world, where technologies like digital currencies and decentralized finance are reshaping our financial landscape, it is pertinent that we understand and align ourselves with these future trends. The power of digitalization, decentralization, and globalization is being harnessed to channel prosperity more directly and evenly. These emerging forms of wealth are not just about offering new investment opportunities, but they are also about democratizing wealth and breaking down the barriers to financial inclusion. Digital currencies and blockchain technology, in particular, have the potential to revolutionize our financial systems. They can make transactions more transparent, secure, and efficient. They can eliminate the need for intermediaries and can empower individuals to have full control over their wealth. This trend signifies a shift from centralized systems of wealth to a more equitable and inclusive model of wealth distribution. Beyond their practical benefits, these technologies also symbolize a shift in our collective consciousness. They represent a move towards a more collaborative, inclusive, and transparent way of dealing with wealth. They reflect our evolving understanding of wealth as not just a physical entity, but as an energetic current flowing through life. As more and more people awaken to this spiritual wisdom, we can expect an expansion in philanthropy. More and more individuals and organizations will start using their wealth to make a positive impact. They will understand the divine purpose of wealth and will choose to channel it towards causes that uplift humanity. They will resonate with the spiritual principle that the more we give, the more we receive, and will experience the miraculous power of abundance in their lives. This is not just a prediction but an aspiration. It is a vision of a world where wealth is not hoarded but shared, where abundance is not a privilege but a birthright, where prosperity is not just about having more but about becoming more. This is the emerging paradigm that we are stepping into, a paradigm that perceives wealth as a spiritual energy flowing for conscious evolution. This paradigm views abundance as an energetic current that we can tap into, resonate with, and channel for the greater good. It recognizes that wealth is not just about amassing resources, but about harnessing them for our growth and the growth of those around us. In this paradigm, the purpose of wealth is not just to secure our survival, but to fuel our evolution. It provides us with the resources to expand our consciousness, to explore our creativity, and to fulfill our divine purpose. It empowers us to raise our vibration, to uplift those around us, and to contribute to the collective evolution of humanity. As we embrace this paradigm, we open ourselves to the divine flow of abundance. We align ourselves with the frequency of prosperity and invite more wealth into our lives. We step into our power as divine beings capable of creating and experiencing abundance in all its forms. So, let's embark on this journey together. Let's shift our perceptions about wealth and abundance. Let's resonate with the energy of prosperity. Let's channel our wealth for the expansion of consciousness, creativity, and spirituality. Let's awaken to our divine potential and step into a new era of spiritual abundance. Thank you all for joining in and engaging with this exploration of wealth as a spiritual energy. If this resonates with you, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Remember, abundance is not just about having, It's about being. So, let's be the abundance that we seek. Let's be the change that we want to see in the world. Until next time, continue to shine your light and share your wealth.